What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Tsunami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. This is going to be a sort of a humorous video, lighthearted video about something funny that's going on in Dokkan right now. You might have noticed, you might not have. In any case, we're going to talk about it because I think it's pretty funny. This isn't some sort of a video where I'm exposing Dokkan and I want them to give us what they owe us, nothing like that. It's just something funny that a lot of people, myself included, have noticed over the past few days. And I think it'd be fun to talk about it because it's a nice change of pace. So if you guys don't know, if you can't tell from the title of the video or the thumbnail, there's something kind of sus going on with Bulma, alright? So if we go take a look at the events, I just finished doing the Bulma event right here. And yeah, so this event, you get 10 Dragon Stones for free just by doing the event. This has been happening since the 8th of September. And this is part of a 350 million Dragon Stones Among the World campaign. So it's basically to commemorate the big celebration. They are distributing 350 million Dragon Stones across both versions. And from that pool of Dragon Stones, you are picking 10 Dragon Stones every single day. So the idea is to give players an incentive to do this event every single day, jump back into the game, participate in the events, keep you engaged in Dokkan, which is pretty smart. And initially, the concern with this whole thing was that the whole pool was going to dry up because people were going to use bots. They were going to, start up new accounts and then jump in there, steal all those Dragon Stones that would have been ours. So that was the initial concern. However, things have kind of panned out a little bit differently. So as you can see here, this is the news for the campaign. 9-8. That was the start of this whole thing. 9-8 for Bulma, 9-8 for the campaign. Things have not panned out in that front. In fact, it's gone the exact opposite way. So we thought that we would be short on Dragon Stones very soon after the start of the event. We are still owed quite a bit more. So let's see what's going on with the event. Let's take a look at the details. Actually, how do you look at the details? You have to go through the news, right? Go to the news. Yeah, right here. Okay, so every now and then they give us an update on this particular piece of news, which does get updated. If you're playing Dokkan, it'll show new. So over time, this number has been growing. It used to be 100 million, 150, 200, that type of thing. It is now at 250 million. Now, we are going to be done with this campaign in just a couple of days. So if we look at the campaign stuff, everything ends on the 5th. 10-5, 10-5, 10-5, 10-5, 10-5, 10-5, right? So we are going to be done with this campaign in just a couple of days. As I'm recording this, it's the 3rd of October, so we got 2 days left. So in those 2 days, as you saw in the news, we are at 250. Now, this didn't just update right now. This was updated a couple days ago. So with that in mind, we only have a handful of days left from when this announcement was made to reach 100 million more Dragon Stones being distributed. Now, this is the funny part. If we take a look at the timeline for how this has been shaping up throughout this entire campaign, it doesn't quite add up to the way you think it does. Considering the fact that this started on September 8th, so we're starting from 0, on the 22nd, Dokkan released this news saying that 100 million stones had been obtained throughout the world. Now, normally, global Dokkan is pretty slow on the uptake, so we'll say it took maybe it was a couple days sooner that this actually happened, okay? But for the sake of this argument, I'm going to keep it as the date that they give us. So, for the sake of the argument, the 22nd was when they announced it. We got it on the 8th, so 14 days. Okay. So in 14 days, we go to 100 million Dragon Stones. That's cool. And we scroll up on Global Dokkan's Twitter. We go to September 29th, aka 7 days after the 22nd. We have now reached 200 million Dragon Stones distributed, which means in literally half the time, we have distributed the same amount of Dragon Stones, which means double the player engagement, which is cool. It's kind of a stretch, but you know what? This type of thing sometimes happens when it comes to gacha games. They throw out a social media campaign, maybe they don't necessarily reach it. The last thing they want to do is not give the participating players their rewards, so they're going to have to fudge the numbers here and there to kind of make the quota, right? So we can kind of see from this part that it was kind of going in that direction. So 7 days, we reach 100 more million Dragon Stones. And that's it, right? So that was on the 29th. And since this is October 3rd, the 29th was 4 days ago. Which means from the 29th, 4 days ago, until the 5th, which is in like 2 more days, you've got like 6 days, we have to reach another 100 million plus an extra 50 because it's a 350 million Dragonstone sharing celebration. So obviously this is probably not going to happen legitimately, and my boy Pokemixer, as well as many other Dokkanners out there, have pointed this out. I wanted to shout out him because he's my boy, plus he tweeted it, which was really funny seeing how he put it all here. So it took 8 to 9 days for 100 million to 200, but you're telling me that in 5 to 6 days we're going to go from 200 million to 350. Yeah, so basically they're kind of fudging the numbers because they just have to. Think about it from the other perspective. If they were to not meet that goal, right, then it's kind of like, okay, all of these Dragonstones are now left on the table, and people are going to feel this, you know, some of the, I'd say less rational Dokkan fans might start to see that as, okay, what are you going to do with all those stones? Are you going to give it to us? Or are you going to keep it for yourselves? And then people might start to, you know, skew the narrative into some twisted, you know, stupid, toxic sort of situation. So to make these type of things kind of round out properly and sort of have some closure, they have to make sure that the numbers meet at the end, which is why they're kind of accelerating the numbers here. And they're going to have to jump the gun a little bit and give us 150 million extra stones throughout the rest of the versions. I don't know how they're going to do this, if they're actually going to give us more stones in the games, or if they're just going to change this in the numbers. I don't know how they're going to do it. But what's funny is that we've all noticed, and we've all been kind of taking exception to it. I've pointed this out on multiple occasions. Shout out to Luka Dokkan. This was posted on the 22nd of September. He tweeted this out. If we keep the 10 million stones per day, the event will end around October 17th. Now, he's saying that because if we were to hold serve with the same trajectory, we would have to get until the 22nd or the 17th of October to get all the Dragonstones that we are theoretically supposed to get. But again, since the campaign ends in a couple of days, they're not really going to do that. And so now another confusing situation has come up because I don't know what to make of this, because I took a screenshot before and after. So Luka Dokkan said 2 days before left in the Bulma event, they removed the countdown. That's only because the event has been completed. They don't show that here because the event has been completed. Usually they put the countdown there to remind you to get it done because it's ending. So I replied with a screenshot of my own because at the time I hadn't done the Bulma event. So I had just done the Bulma event 5 minutes before recording this video, and as you can see on my game, it shows the 3 days remaining. But now if we go to the Dokkan game itself and we go to the Bulma event, since I just completed it 5 minutes before starting this video, as you can see, there's no countdown. So I don't think that they are going to be extending the duration of this Bulma event. I think they're going to keep it as is. We're simply just not going to get all the Dragonstones that we expected. That's all. Either that, or they're actually going to address it and just give us a bunch of stones. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt they're not going to give us 50 Dragonstones each on account of a, you know, a regression model error where they anticipated a certain amount of stones being distributed and it didn't happen. That's just not gonna happen. They're just gonna say that this many stones were distributed and they expect you to go along with it. But I seriously doubt they're gonna extend the duration of the Bulma event. It doesn't make sense thematically. It doesn't make sense based on how they operate. So I highly doubt that's gonna happen. So hopefully that clears up any confusion. I did want to talk about this because I think this is hilarious. This is not a shot at Dokkan. This is not an anti-Dokkan propaganda video. I love what they're doing. I just think that this is a funny little mishap that they didn't anticipate, and they're now trying to, you know, speed things up to make it seem like they did reach that quota, which they clearly did not. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments your thoughts on this situation. Let me know if you think they're actually going to give us a little bit extra for the Bulma event. Do you think they're going to extend the event, or do you think they're just going to continue to give us 10 more Dragonstones for the rest of the days that it's available, and then they're just going to say that we met the end quota and we're done with it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future, and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.